Oh, Salam Tanant Sterling. We've been asked this by others, and truthfully, we've thought about it as well as ourselves. And this is on the subject matter of our present president, or the first African American president, and first black president since the articles of the Constitution. We're not talking about before that time. It's a whole different story. But very important that we're all the black presidents. But if we want to be legal, then this is the first one since the articles of the Constitution were ratified. Anyway, the basic premise of this dissertation is concerning President Barack Obama. It's been a meditation we want to share it at this time because we're in a pivotal time of history. While we're in a sense we're making history. History is being made even right now, so-called history, right, or our story. But there's a mystery to our story, and let's address this concerning President Obama. Is he Joseph, or is he an anti-Joseph? Now, some would rush and say, no, he's not Joseph, he's not this, he's not that. Some of our Israelite people, some of the more fanaticals among the Israelites will say, no, he's an African. But yet, if you do a little bit of study and investigation into his Obama's genealogy, he is a Hebrew. Obama's genealogy is related to the Hebrews. And this is related to certain Africans, certain ones who are commonly called African, just like certain so-called European Jews would be called or considered Europeans by others. Some Europeans and others would consider, while some would say, no, they're not really Europeans. They may be so-called white, but they're not really white. And this is the reason why Hitler went off the deep end concerning the so-called Jews, because he said that they were a mixed group of people, a mongrel group of people, because he recognized the Hebrew connection. And we say Hebrew because Esau is a Hebrew. Whether you like it or not, he's related to Abraham and the so-called Arabs as well, or the Arab people, the black Arabs originally, and the red Arabs today are Hebrews as well. So let us propose this question at this particular moment, though it was hinted by others and discussed by some of us previously, and we was going to hold off, and we did hold off for a while, engaging this particular question concerning Barack Hussein Obama, President Barack Obama. Is he Joseph? Is he Joseph or a Joseph, or is he an anti-Joseph? Now, like we said already, many will rush to judgment from some sort of prejudice. They will rush to judgment and say, "Oh, Obama, he can't be a Joseph." I'm talking about black folks. I'm talking about Hebrew-minded people and some of the youth and some of the more fanatical branches of our family. They're still our family, but they, we're a peculiar people as this people, as the Falashas or the Exiles or the Beta Israel, the Israelites, the Hebrews over here, so-called Negroes over here in the Americas, and that's inclusive of the Hebrew identity, inclusive of certain Africans. Now, as we said, that Obama is a Hebrew. In other words, his genealogy links him with, on one end, the original Arabs being descendant from our father, ancestor Abraham, and there's a related link that would link him with, some say, Edom or Esau, and the daughter of Ishmael. So there's a link right there. So there's two branches. There's the black branch and there's the whiter branch, or the redder branch, or the lighter branch. There's a southern branch and there's a northern branch of the people, such as the Hebrews. We have the Sephardic and the Spanish Jews, and then we have the Hebrews and the black Hebrews. You understand? And the treatment of them is more or less the same in the sense vis-a-vis the Gentiles, the Europeans, even though the lighter skins are usually favored over the darker skins, and we understand that, or we should understand that by now. But is Joseph, or rather, is Obama, tell you where we are inclined to lean in this particular question, on this particular question, that Barack Obama, is he a Joseph, or is he an anti-Joseph? And in order to properly answer, or even to properly consider the question, one should have a good knowledge of the Bible, in particular the book of Genesis, and in particular the story concerning Joseph. And then one also needs to have a good idea of ancient history from a non-whitewash or counterfeit Christian perspective. Because if you're looking at it from the counterfeit Christian perspective, the white Jesus perspective, one blue eye, this question it might not even make sense to you. But if you're looking at it like many of us, and from different tribes of the Beit Israel. We as Ethiopian-Hebrews and Tafari, and then you have some of the black Hebrew Israelites, and there's different tribes amongst them as well. And we're saying tribes in the sense of what ones will call different, either denomination or different sects. They call them sects today. There's this sect and that sect of sectors and so forth and so on. So is Obama Joseph? Is he a Joseph type? You see, and we need to consider this, especially in the day and time that we're in. You see, and many black folks know, the mass of black folks know that something was or still is special about Obama. And, you know, everybody want to know, well, what's he going to do for us as black folks, or just him being there sends a powerful, is a symbol to the youths and to the black males in particular. Some have this interpretation, and there is something to be said of that. But then there's also some that say, oh, he's down with the New World Order, he's down with the Illuminati, look at him, he does this sign and that sign, and he's part of this such and such, which is no different really from the biblical Israelites. You remember what we was talking about a little earlier about the Rehoboamites? Remember the Rehoboamites, some of the Israelites that wanted to step up and to slander and blaspheme the ruler of the true Israel, and we're speaking of Negus Neges Kadamawi Haile Selassie, without apology on that note. But we need to consider, is Obama, President Obama, a Joseph as a type for us as the once lost but now found Beit Israel, or is he an anti-Joseph type? And the anti-Joseph type will be that king that arose that did not know Joseph. Now, there's a lot of issues that were concerning the time of Joseph. Financial, economic issues. There were issues concerning the genocide, and that word was coined, actually, genocide was coined by Haile Selassie, or due to Haile Selassie, that word that's often used, genocide. Just to put a note here, and either we will expand on the word genocide, how it was coined, due to Haile Selassie's speech at Geneva, Switzerland, that spiritual Armageddon point in time concerning the fascist invasion of Ethiopia. Another prophetical sign as well. But we have these issues concerning abortion, the abortion issue. Many say, oh, Obama's down with this abortion issue. So he's like the one, the Pharaoh or the king that arose that was killing the Hebrews or the Israelites. You know, the whole thing about the children being thrown into the river, the Hebrews being thrown into the river. And that's significant as well. So we're going to leave you with this thought. We want to leave you with this thought and with this question. And we're going to go into a little bit more of what we think and present the evidence that will back up our opinion concerning this, because more has to go on before we have decisive facts and figures. Some might even say we do have decisive facts that he is a type of Joseph, or some will say, no, he's an anti-Joseph. Let's discuss this, especially if you have a Beta Israel or Israelite identity, if you are one of our people, even if you're in a different sect, even if you're part of the black Hebrew Israelites and you're opposed to Rastafari and the Ethiopian-Hebrews and the whole idea. But let's discuss this point, because we're here in this spiritual Egypt right here and right now. They're not going to look at you, you know, if this goes down like a lot of people think it's going to go down, they're not going to look at you and say, oh, you're a black Hebrew Israelite, you're not with the Rastafarians. You know, they're not going to look at you like that. So stop clowning around. Even in the past times, there was a mixed multitude. You remember that Exodus is out of Egypt, and we're in an Egypt today. America, Babylon, is an Egypt. This America for us as Beta Israel is a spiritual Egypt. Go refer to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, and you can find out more about that and even study some of Gerald Macy's works if you're mature, and you will be able to perhaps, hopefully, put it together for yourself. So, is President Barack Obama, is he a Joseph, or is he an anti-Joseph? What do you think? What's your opinion about this particular matter? Because we need to get some sort of decision on this. Because if he is a Joseph, we need to act one way. If he's not, then... Yeah!